Hello, Jez here from nigezza.blogspot.com. Thank you for joining me today on another festive Thursday, and we have a very festive project for you today. I'm filming it in a different location because it's quite a big item, and it wouldn't have got in shot if I'd been on my usual desk. As you can see, it is a snowman. The snowman there with his twig arms. He's got a lovely warm scarf. He's got a lovely snowflake hat, a beautiful smile, and some googly eyes. Okay, and you can see he has some snow on his body. Okay, so stay tuned and I'll show you how I made it. Right, to make my snowman, we need a bit of basic black. This is for the top of the hat, and this is 4.5 by 3 inches. All the measurements and score things will be on my blog. So that means of the 3 boxes, the lid for the top one is also going to be in basic black. So that's going to be the top hat for the snowman. So this is 3 9/16 by 3 9/16. I know that's an odd having 16ths, but it's easy on your Stampin' trimmer to do that, and that's going to be scored at 3/4 on all 4 sides. Then the base of the top box is simply a piece of 6 by 6, and you score that on 2 inches on all 4 sides. Then the lid of the middle is 5 1/16 squared, and that's going to be scored at 1 inch on all 4 sides. The base of the middle box is 8 by 8, and that's 2.5 inch score line on all 4 sides. And then the lid of the bottom box is 6 9/16 squared and scored at 1 1/4 on all 4 sides. And then the base of your snowman is a 10 by 10. So you need 12 by 12 sheet to do this project just for this base piece. Okay, everything else is out of ordinary A4, and I used 3 pieces of A4, and there was quite a bit left over, so I've got nice scraps for doing sentiments and things, and a very little bit of basic black, and then this 1 sheet of 12 by 12. Along with that, you are going to need some of our beautiful glimmer black ribbon, and some of our lovely stripy wired ribbon, and I'm using the black gems. I'm going to use some googly eyes for the snowman's eyes because I think they'll look cute, but you could use white circles and black circles for it just as well. And then I've just cut some 1/2 inch circles out of basic black for the buttons, and I will be using some Winker Stella on that to give it a little bit of a shine. And to decorate the boxes, I'm using the snowflakes from Colourful Seasons, and I shall be using some white embossing powder on that to give it a nice sort of snowy effect. Okay, so I'll show you what I did. So all the boxes are made in exactly the same way. Seen me make boxes before. I'll show you using the largest one because you can probably see that better, but they are all made in the same way. So I'm taking my 10 by 10 and I'm scoring at 3 inches and rotating, and it's going to be 3 inches on all 4 sides. It's really important with a project like this that you turn each of the bits of paper to do the score lines, so that's the way you ensure that the lid fits the base. If you did a 3 and then in this case it's a 7, and you did that on all 4, the top would not match the bottom. And then I'm going to score the lid at the same time. So this is scored at 1 1/4. All measurements will be on my blog, Nigezza.blogspot.com. and 1 1/4 on all 4 sides, and then that way I know that this lid will fit the base, which is why some of the measurements have some 16ths in it, and that's just to make sure that it will fit. So that's my scoring done, and I'm going to do some stamping. Okay, so for this project you are only going to see the 4 outer sections, because that's going to be made up like a cube. These are going to be tucked under, and this is the base. So it's these areas that's going to be seen. So it's those areas that I'm going to stamp with my snowflakes. So I'm going to emboss them, and I'm just going to bring in a stamp mat, which I shall put underneath my grid mat, so we'll be going off the page a little bit. So get my Versamark. I'm filming this in a slightly different way because we've done a little bit of rearranging in the house, and I thought, oh, I might do some filming downstairs, and then I can prep and watch the telly, and that'd be quite nice. That were my thoughts. Right, so whilst I can still see slightly, I'm going to fill in those gaps like so, and then come over here. So we've got a little bit of more space for you to see what I'm doing, and I'm actually using a tripod for the first time in a very long time. So I'm going to see how I like this and whether or not I carry on doing this. Doesn't matter if it goes a little bit over the base or over the sides, you're not going to see them. You can see there's a bit of a gap there. I might fill it in. Trying to work quickly so the Versamark doesn't dry too much. It is slow drying. And then of course on the smaller pieces be working on a smaller area, so less danger of it drying out. See if I'm pushing my luck. If this works nicely, shove one in the middle there, like so, and then it's a matter of sprinkling the embossing powder. This is our white embossing powder. So this is going to be a tone on tone effect, and it will give it a slight shimmery effect as well as it embosses. Keep that on the paper. Right, and then I'm going to and then I can see where I've gone. That's quite good. Yep, that'll do. So that's now all been stamped, and all I did on the bottom bits, I've just rubbed a little bit away because I don't really want that embossing. So I'm going to heat emboss that and then start assembling my box. Okay, so I have heat embossed the snowflakes. I've done the lid as well. I went all over the lid. Can you see that? So it gives it a nice shimmery effect. Okay, so now let's assemble. The lids, nice and easy. We're just going to fold and burnish all those sides, just the way I do a box normally. It's really weird to be in a different place. But if you've watched me in the last week or so, you'll know I've had new windows fitted, and so I've got amazing light coming through my living room window. Well, it's not amazing actually, because it's getting late in the day and it's a bit dimsy, but it's just nice. So we are going to snip up and then just notch out like so, and I'll do a little bit of a notch on that side down to the crease. Do the same on this side. Do the same on all four sides actually. Okay. I see other people do this and they like whiz, whiz, whiz and do it really, really quick. And I'm a little bit slower. Excuse my, got a bit of black in my fingernails because the house has just been covered in dust with the knocking out of the old Victorian sash windows and all the brickwork that we've just been cleaning dust up all weekend, and just gets everywhere. My nails are not very good anyway, and it just stays despite soaking. It doesn't work. I've even washed up dishes and I never do that. Now I do this one slightly different, so I'm cutting up, notching in the same way as I do for the base, but the difference is I'm then going to rotate so that each side has a flap and there's not two on one. That makes sense. And I'm doing exactly the same on all the other boxes in my Snowman. Because this is a bigger box, I'm using my big dressmaking scissors. Do you know, my mother would be like, I can't believe you're using your dressmaking scissors and cardstock, but actually they're lovely and sharp. Yes, they might not cut fabric again now, but I don't make my clothes anymore. My children are too big to be wearing my homemade clothes. They wouldn't dream of it. So I've got no use for them, so they make really good paper crafting ones. Oh, I didn't fold and burnish this. I'll do it now. Doesn't really matter. Can do it after. Slightly more awkward because it's not a single fold, is it? Never mind. Never mind. There we go. I think it's personal preference. Some people like to burnish and some people do it after. That side's not done. It's easier to see if you've done all the sides if you do it first. There we go. So that's all done and dusted now. So I'm going to put glue on all these four sides, and I'm going to use fast fuse. I like actually to use liquid glue on boxes, but this is just so much quicker for the video. So I'm using fast fuse to try and speed myself up, and I really like it. Now that we've gotten over our earlier problems, we're now in a really good place together and we play nice. Except when I forget to tick, like I just did then. There we go. And then it's just a matter of assembling the box, match that up to the edge there and stick it down and keep going all the way around. And it goes together quickly, just the last one we need to get over a bit. Oh. That's why I use liquid glue, because it does give you that little chance if you stick too soon. There we go, we'll just rub that together to give it a good adherence. So that's our box with the lovely snowflake. I might just do a little bit of wet glue in there afterwards, that's where I peeled it off. And then the lid, in exactly the same way, we're going to put glue adhesive on those sides. So to make the lid, I'm just going to put it over the box I've already made, and then that way I know that it will fit snugly. And just fold it down, get that on the inside, makes it a bit easier. That's there like that. Fold that one in on the sides, and then they'll fit snugly round. It's quite difficult to do this on camera because I don't usually do it at an arm's length. So that is the bottom box with a nice snugly fitting lid. Maybe a bit too stiff. So that's the base of the snowman done. Can you see the lovely little snowflakes all the way around? And they actually feel really nice. So it's just subtle. You can, of course, if you want to, do it in silver. I did contemplate doing it in silver, but I quite like the tone and tone effect. So box 2 is exactly the same. Box 3 has got a black lid. So I'll assemble those and come back to you with how I decorate it. Okay, so I have assembled all the boxes now. It's looking more like a snowman. And as you can see on the basic black, I again embossed that in white embossing powder. I was going to do it in Versamark and clear embossing powder, so it had the same sort of shimmery effect that the rest of the boxes have. Can you see? So that it was subtle, but I decided to go with snow. So it looked, because you would see it on black. Well, you wouldn't, because it would melt, wouldn't it? But you know what I mean. This is how I thought I'd go. Right, so now we just need to do the top of the hat, and so I thought I'd show you how I did that. So for the top of the hat, it's 4.5 by 3 inches, and I have already embossed that, and we're basically just going to make a bit of a cube to sit on top. So we are going to score it on the long side at 1, at 2, at 3 and 4. All measurements as ever will be on my blog, nigezza.blogspot.com, and then on the short side we're just going to score it at 1 and then at 2, and that's all we need to do with my scoreboard. Okay, so then we just need to fold and burnish those score lines. I didn't use an embossing buddy when I did this, and it's got little white flecks on it, but I thought it was okay because it is going to be a snowman out in the snow, so I didn't really worry too much about it. So when I noticed, I just thought, I'll just leave it. Right, so we are going to do a bit of cutting. And so we're going to cut off these two rectangles. It's really hard for you to see in the black, so straight down and then wedge a bit of that out, straight down there, and wedge a bit of that out, and that's the bit that's going to stick them together, and then we just need to close up the sides. So we're just going to cut down all these straight edges, working in black and the slightly dimming light, because this has taken a bit of time, and I've done a few other things. I've blogged, done a bit of washing up, etc. So the light's now gone, so I want these two to stay as is, and I'm just going to wedge in all the others. So this is a bit like when if you're making a box that's going to have a folded edge, except I didn't need a folded edge because it's just going to get stuck. So didn't need to worry too much about that. So wedge, wedge, and the same on the other side. So I hope it is bright enough in here, because I am working in a different room, and so I don't know about the lighting when it's now pitch black outside, despite the fact that it's only about 5 o'clock. There we go. Get rid of all those wee bits, and I'm going to take a bit of these off so that it's not so much bulk. And that's what we're going to do, just stick those down like so. Right, I was just doubting myself. In my prototype I did it slightly different, which is why I was just trying it out there. Right, so a bit of fast fuse on this bit so that we stick that down there, give it a good burnish, and then I'm going to just put bits on these edges that are going to fold over. So that's going to go over there. Yeah, I need to put one on there. I need to put one on there, a bit difficult. So that's going to go like that. That's going to go like that. And then a bit on there. And that will hold it all together for our cube. So I'm going to make this a little bit easier and just put a bit on these. Doesn't have to open this. You could, of course, I guess, make it so it opens, so there was a little extra surprise. That's not sticking. Idiot. There we go. Right, now I've done a little long doodah on there. I've lost the end. Get rid of that there. We should be cooking on gas again now. Yeah. The worst thing you can do with fast fuse is if you get a little stringy bit, just keep pulling. You need to just stop. Otherwise you're lost, doomed forever. There there we go. So that's our little cubey bit, which I want to stick on the top. And I'm going to decide which end I like. Don't really matter, does it? It's all a bit random. I might put that snowflake on the top though. Although that one's quite dark. Yeah, we'll go there. So I'm going to put a bit of fast fuse. I'd maybe use wet glue, but just for quickness, for the video, I am using my fast fuse. So I'm going to centre that and then give it a good little burnish there. So that is our snowman's little app. Okay, so now to decorate the snowman. So to decorate, I'm going to use some of our black rhinestones, and I'm going to use an orange enamel dot, well, pumpkin pie, which is from one of the clearance rack. I'm not sure if it's still available. And I'm going to use a couple of googly eyes. So I'm going to stick the googly eyes on first, so we kind of know where his face is. So I'm just going to pick up a glue dot, put it on the back there of my googly woogly eye, and stick him in place. And do the same with the other. And then once the eye's done, kind of know where the rest of your face is going to be. You can, of course, use cut out circles if you haven't got googly eyes, but googly eyes are really easy to get hold of, and I think they're quite cute. So there's our googly eyes. Give them a little bit more of a press in. Put his hat back on. There we go. And then we'll have one of the bigger enamel dots. You could, of course, use a bit of a cube for the to make a nose so it looks more carrot-like. I did when I was stamping. Don't know if you can see. See if I can get that in the light. I did do it so that there was a sort of snowflake in the middle. Thought that would look good for it being a face, so I made sure there was a big snowflake. And then let's do the mouth. So I'm going to use the little rhinestones. I'm going to start just below the nose, so that's level, and then I'll go up from there. So it's like I've used little bits of coal. Do another. I love these black rhinestones. So cute. There, so we've now got a little happy, oh cute, snowman. And then we need, a snowman needs a scarf. So what I've done to make his scarf is I've taken some of our stripy wired ribbon, because it will be hard to sort of tie it round, and I want it to look like a scarf as opposed to a bow. So I've cut two strips. So this one's about 13 inches, and then this one's about 5 inches. And what I'm going to do is stick it around the rim of my box, and I'm going to have it joined kind of towards the side, and then this ribbon is just going to fold over. So I'm going to just get a little bit of fast fuse, and I'm just going to put a bit roughly in the middle of each of the sides where it's going to be stuck onto, and then we're just going to stick it around. Stick it on the 3 sides first before I get to the front, because at the front I want to fold this over so that that can stick like so. So I got to put a bit of fast fuse on the back of this one so that that can get stuck down here. And then I can stick those bits down. Didn't take that one, did I? There we go. Stick that one down there, and then we can just stick that one just at the top so that it secures it there. And that is the snowman's scarf. So there we have a snowman and we have his scarf. And so all we need now is his buttons. So I'm going to stick these on with dimensionals so that they pop out a little bit. So I'm going to eyeball the middle of that a bit. I move the scarf out the way so I can figure out where the middle might be. About there. Stick that down. Cool. And then I'm going to stick one in the middle there. And then one on the bottom section, like so. So there is our snowman really taking shape. Almost done, but snowmen have twig arms, don't they? So in order to make a twig arm, I have used the thinlits, the seasonal layer thinlits that coordinate with the stamp set that I've used, and I've used this big twig here. I've also cut a couple of snowflakes out for decoration, so I decided to use soft suede for my twig arms. So I've cut out 2 soft suede twigs and I'm going to stick them on here, and I'm going to have it sort of wrapping around the box, because if it sticks out, you could use some pipe cleaner and stick it out, but I thought this would look a lot neater. So I'm going to use my fine tip glue pen to stick these on. So I'm just going to do a couple of little dabs along here to secure it in place. So we stick one on. I'm going to have it, take the lid off, I'm going to have it wrap around a little bit there, hold it down for a couple of seconds to dry, coming around the front like so, and I'll do the same to the other side. I've only just got this die set and the stamp set, and I love it. The stamp set was a present for promoting, and then I bought the die set because I just love dies or punches that match stamps, and this set just goes for everything. You've got Christmas in there, you can use it for birthdays, for good lucks, all sorts of ideas there. Takes you through the summer. I'm going to use it in scrapbooking. Just brilliant. There. So that's his little twig body. Put his lid back on, his scarf, and so we've got a little bit of the twigs coming down there. I'm going to move that down a little bit too high, and then there he is. So obviously, to give his buttons a little bit of sparkle, I'm going to use some Wink Stella so that it looks like they've got a bit of frost on. I think that's what they need. So a little bit of bling on there to give them a good touch. Liking that. And I was going to stick some snowflakes on the hat. I quite like the idea of having a snowflake sort of stuck on the front of his hat, like so. So I'm going to get a glue dot, if I can remember where I put them, and I'm just going to stick that on the side of his hat with a glue dot where there is a little bit of a gap in the pattern. Oh, managed to take the glue dot off and not actually stick it on. So that's going on there, and then I might stick one on there. Oh, I've got that all out. It's a bit difficult to put that one on with a glue dot given that it's the way it is, so I might just, for quickness, put a bit of fast fuse on that, stick it on the corner like so. Oh, I think that's cute. So to finish off, we really need to attach these boxes together, and you could wrap it up in a cellophane if you wanted to, or what I'm going to do is just take a length of our shiny ribbon and I'm going to wrap it around and tie a bow at the side on the bottom base. So I'm just taking this, give myself a length that side, put it up over the hat, and then I'm going to tie a bow here at the side, and that should keep it together quite nicely. You could put a little bit of Velcro dots if you wanted to, as I say, or do a bit of a cellophane wrap, but that would be, if you're giving it as a present, wrapping it in cellophane would probably look quite nice. If you wanted it as a table decoration, then a simple bow like so would work, and it does hold it really quite well. So I think that's dead cute. Hope you like it. All the details over on my blog, nigezza.blogspot.com. Okay, thank you for joining me. Bye.